Hello everybody, my name is Kimberly and welcome back to my channel. So December is closing and that means it is time for a December wrap up. I read 4 books this month and this is what they are. One of the books I read this month during Readathon by Zoe was Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. It is about a girl named Fern who saves this runty little pig from getting killed, and she looks after this pig and then sells it to her uncle. Charlotte is a spider who helps Wilbur and saves Wilbur from being killed yet again by spinning webs and writing words within her webs like some pig. Wilbur becomes famous from this, and in the end Fern's uncle decides that he can't sell Wilbur at all after all this effort that Charlotte's gone through. It's a great book, very quick, so I pretty much finished the readathon with this book. I have missed reading these kinds of books because I'm so into reading thick, long books where it takes time and effort to read. But Charlotte's Web, I totally recommend it. I rated Charlotte's Web 5 out of 5 stars because there is a main message with friendship within the book that sticks right through the end. The characters are so lovable and I just can't get enough of it. The next book I read in December was a horror fiction book called The Replacement by Brenna Yovanoff, and this book I rated 1 out of 5 stars. It was not very interesting. I don't feel like there was much of a climax to the story. It just kept dragging on. There is storyline in the story, but it doesn't exactly lead anywhere and you're just left confused most of the time. In each sitting that I was reading this book, I found myself reading not that much because I just didn't find myself enjoying it as much as I wanted to. I went into this book with really high hopes. They were kind of brought down and I was very, very disappointed. I'm sorry if this is one of your favorite books, but this is just how I feel. It is about a boy named Mackie and he is allergic to blood and iron. He was left in a human body 16 years ago and he ends up kind of solving this murder with Tate's sister who was supposedly dead but isn't actually. It's just a very confusing story. The next book I'm reviewing will have spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for this book, then please turn the volume down when you see this book and I will bring the book down when I have finished and you can turn your volume back up for the rest of the video. Another book I read this month that was a short children's book was Matilda by Roald Dahl. It is about a girl named Matilda. She reads books all day instead of watching TV like her parents. She is the brightest kid reading Charles Dickens at 4 years old. She didn't end up going to school till 5 and a half and her teacher wants her to move up in classes and be with the older kids, but the principal, Miss Trunchbull, no, you don't want to ask her anything. She's a mean old cow. She will make your life a living hell. It was a very easy, quick book which I rated 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't rate it 5 stars was because it was a very unrealistic ending. In the end, she asked her parents if she can go live with her teacher, and her parents said yes. Your parents wouldn't just go, yep, you can live with this person because I don't want you around. No, your parents would go, toughen up, you're coming with us, you're leaving with us. The reason why I rated it 4.5 stars rather than 5 because it was very unrealistic and I prefer the more realistic books than the unrealistic. The next book I read was also during the readathon. I will link the readathon below because a lot of these books came from the readathon. And this is Fire Spell by Lauren Amy Schlitz. This is about a girl named Clara. For Clara's 12th birthday, she asks her parents if she can have this puppeteer perform at her birthday, which of course they say yes. And she loves the puppeteer. They perform for her and her friends. At night she goes missing and the police are involved, and the 2 orphan helpers that helped with the puppeteering try and find Clara and try to bring her home safely. I rated this book 4.5 stars, just like Matilda, because I really enjoyed the book. I got really frustrated with some of the characters because of the choices they made within the book. I got really annoyed with the characters' choices within here and it was just a little bit of a letdown. Overall, it was a great story, great climax, and it ended extremely well. The last book I read in December was a book by Eliza called In the Dark in the Woods. It is about a girl called Castley. She, along with her 5 brothers and sisters, live with their father and mother, and their father think that they're the most purest of all children, and that they are the only children that will go into the afterlife and go to heaven and live forever with one another. Castley, however, does not want that. She wants to be a normal 16-year-old girl. She wants to drink, go to parties, and wear shorts. Instead, she's dressed like she's in the 80s, which I agree, who would want to dress like that? This book was published in 2016, so I am a bit late in the reading of it, but it was actually a pretty decent book. I rated it again 4.5 stars. One things I didn't like was how quick it finished. But when it got to the end, it felt really rushed, like the author couldn't wait to finish it and get it published. She just did a really quick job of it, and it ended up not being that great just because it was a very rushed ending. However, it was beautifully written throughout, and I commend the author a lot for this book. That is it for this December wrap up. If you haven't seen my face before, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I post every Sunday and sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you read any of these books, please let me know what you thought compared to what I thought, and what you think I need to read in 2018 or in January, or any upcoming books that you reckon I should buy and love and read. See ya!